dress van, Smalls.
I'm similar to the thriller in Manila. Honeys call me bigger, the condom filler. Whether it's stiff tongue or stiff dick, Biggie squeeze it to make shit fit. Now check this shit, I got the pack of Rough Riders in the back of the Pathfinder. You know the epilogue by James Todd Smith. I get swift with the lyrical gift. Hit you with the dick, make your kidney shift. Here we go, but I'm not domino. I got the funk flow to make your drawers drop slow. So recognize the dick size in these Coincatch jeans. I wear 13s, know what I mean? I fuck around and hit you with the Hennessy dick. Mess around and go blind, don't get to see shit. The next batter, here to shatter your blatter, it doesn't matter. Skinny or fat or light skinned or black, baby, I drop these. Boniqua mommy screaming, I poppy. I love it when they call me Big Pop, but I only smoke blunts if they roll prop. But look, I got ya caught up with the drunk flow. Fuck taekwondo, I told a fofo. For niggas getting mad cause they bitch chose me. A big black motherfucker with G. You see, all I do is separate the game from the truth. Big bang boots from the Bronx to Bolivia. Getting physical like Olivia Newt. Tricks up my click dick all day with no trivia. So give me a hoe, a bankroll and a bag of weed. I'm guaranteed to fuck until I nosebleed. Even if the new man's a certified Mac, you get that H-Town in you. You want that old thing back?
B-I-double-G-I-E with some new R-U-L-E. Notorious, known for bustin' in your E-Y-E. Baby, baby, bitches know they love to hate me. How come you come, we're coming back, so maybe how close we came to coming together is crazy. How come you and your sis facing me the faces? When y'all coming, y'all be crying like I'm killing y'all bitches. I know there's a bigger picture than the camera rolling, cause I don't think y'all be knowing how this shit's unfolding. Back shots to the rear, got the Mac unloading. Gotta reload like every so often. Saying I got my swagger back, I'm looking like bitch, my swagger never left. Don't be so hard pressed to be impressed by these new rappers. They actors and the fact is, you want that old thing back.
Like Scarface and Bushwick, Willie D, having nightmares, the girls killing me. She mad because what we had didn't last. I'm glad because her cousin let me hit the ass. Fuck the past, let's dwell on the 500 SL, the E and J and ginger ale. The way my pockets swell to the rim with Benjamins. Another hundred's in the crib, please send it in. I fuck non-stop, lick my lips a lot. Used to lick the clips a lot, but licking clips has to stop. Cause y'all don't know how to act when the tongue go down below. Peak the funk flow, really though. I got the cleanest, meanest penis. You never seen it, stroke of genius. So take off your Tim boots and your bodysuit. I mean the spandex and hit my man next. Sex get rougher when they come to the nut buster. Pussy crusher, black nasty motherfucker. I don't chase them, I replace them. And if I'm caressing them, I'm undressing them. Fuck what you heard, who's the best in New York? Fulfilling fantasies without that nigga Mr. Raw. Or tattoo, I got you wrapped around my dick. And when I'm done, I got the split. Shit.
What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. Glad to see we got some more viewers than Monday. I know the market's dead, so I appreciate everyone showing up. Today I want to focus on, is alt season possible? Answer a lot of questions related to Bitcoin dominance, what alts you should be in if we get an alt season. I'm getting a lot of feedback and comments on Twitter that are asking about alts and Bitcoin dominance. So I figured I'd just take this live stream and really hammer that first. We'll go over the rest of the market analysis afterwards. But really wanted to, I guess, answer those questions or summarize my thoughts and give you guys what I believe could happen. I have two scenarios. I know, you guys don't like to hear two scenarios. You want the ultimate answer, but I can't give you a for sure answer. But I can give you at least my opinion guided by what I'm seeing. Anyways, what's up, Nuno? Is that Tatty? Hello, Tatty. Ulysses, what's up? Brandon? Oh, it's Senor Buendia. Oh, how are you, man? Senor. You haven't been in the Discord in a while. Nice to see you. All right, let's kick it off. You guys are waiting. Hear the answers to your questions. So, alt summer. What is alt summer? First of all, for those of you who don't know, back in 2020, and again, not everything repeats itself. Back in 2020, around July, August, September, you had alts like Ethereum, Link, XLM, just to name a few. I can't name all of them off the top of my head, but it wasn't the whole altcoin market. It was a select few. Again, Link, Ethereum, XLM, I believe EOS, Ethereum Classic did well. I think BNB also started doing very well. What's up, Colin? Anyways, the whole point is there were select few altcoins, like probably a fourth of the altcoin market did very well. And this is coming from, post-COVID crash. This is coming from Bitcoin also pumping from 9 to about 12,000, right? Ethereum then followed, and then some of these higher cap coins followed. So, in my opinion, I think we're lining up for something similar with the Ethereum ETF being passed, with the Ethereum ETF about to go live, with the SEC now saying that Ethereum is a commodity and not a security. So, amongst that, let's look at the charts and see some. Sorry, I'm trying to read chat as it comes in, and see some signals on like what's next, right? And just so you guys know, in at least not every single cycle, but the last cycle, we had Bitcoin dominance trending up. Bitcoin dominance kind of took a break or like a pullback, right? We had that alt summer, and then Bitcoin dominance continued, and really we didn't get alt season until Bitcoin was around 40K. So again, going to answer all of that, give you guys my 2 cents on the issue. So first things first, guys, we've been talking about these divergences for the last couple of weeks. We're making higher highs in value, or I guess price, and lower highs in MACD and RSI. Usually this is a sign of trend exhaustion or that trend needs to consolidate. So in my opinion, again, we're still very, very bullish. I want to provide this as well for kind of comfort. We've seen Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance running together. So ultimately, I think Bitcoin kind of consolidates for a little longer, right? Alts like Ethereum, if we get this alt summer here, lead, right? A lot of these alts haven't really done anything. I know some alts have, like the AI coins have done stuff, but many of these altcoins really haven't done anything. Like you look at Crow and it's barely moved, right? It's not even close to prior all-time highs. Bitcoin's been absolutely crushing in performance compared to a lot of these coins. And just to kind of show, again, like Digibyte hasn't done anything. Sure, it had like a 300% move, but compared to Bitcoin, it's being outperformed. Let's go back to Bitcoin dominance. So I'm just going to remove that for now. So my opinion, we're going to get some type of pullback to sort these divergences, or at least consolidation. Now, the question is, if it is a pullback, that loads alt summer. If it's consolidation, then we will not get alt summer. And if we quickly kind of go into what we're looking at here, In my opinion, we retest 54% one more time. If we bounce from 54%, right, we bounce from 54%, alt summer's off, right? It's not going to happen. If 54% is lost, right, we lose this kind of end of support. I think the bottom of this thing, I'm going to be confident, it's like 53.88. So if we lose 53.88, it's a good sign that, again, alt summer is likely going to happen. Some alts are going to outperform Bitcoin. It's going to be better to be trading Ethereum rather than Bitcoin if this happens. And again, fundamentally, we have the Ethereum ETF being passed. We have the Ethereum ETF going live soon. We have Ethereum being noted as a commodity now. We have politicians now stepping in and wanting to be part of crypto, or they're crypto positive. So lots of fundamental reasons to look for not only like just trades in crypto in general, or just to be bullish on crypto in general, but looking for trades on alts, which we really haven't done for the last several years. Because again, Bitcoin's been the outperformer. Why would you trade something else when Bitcoin's going to be clearly outperforming? Oh, you guys are talking. Oh, you're Dutch. That's awesome. It's awesome to see people from all parts of the world coming to the stream. So anyways, continuing on. So retest 50, 54, or excuse me, 53.88. We won't see all season. But if we fall down, well, and again, guys, this is just a theory, right? We could go lower. We could bounce higher. The next support area is 51. You look on the weekly, 51 all day, right? We have confluence. We have a kind of a semi-ish breakout. We actually have a solid retest of that area, kind of a breakdown retest before we break out again. It doesn't have to be 51%. It might even be slightly higher. No, wouldn't be higher. I just have that marked as a little bit of confluence, or either way, we get that pullback, we see alt summer, right? That happens. Why do we need alt summer? Why would it happen? Well, because of all of these divergences, right? We have all of these issues that need to be sorted, all of these issues that need to be, I guess the best word is sorted so that we can continue higher. Because I don't believe that alt season is starting. Guys, Bitcoin hasn't even maintained a solid, we've had a solid uptrend, but we haven't really started a bull market yet. We're at 65,000. 2 years ago, we were at 65,000. Once Bitcoin breaks into the 100K, 120K, then we can start looking for quote-unquote alt season, right? For that liquidity to dump it from Bitcoin into Ethereum, from Ethereum into Link, from Link into some of these lower cap or smaller cap coins into obviously the meme coins at the end of alt season. If you think that we've been through alt season already, you're horribly mistaken. Bitcoin dominance hasn't even started a downtrend yet. And again, in my honest opinion, we're not going to start one until Bitcoin really breaks 100K, right? Where we see that more liquidity flowing in, where we see liquidity being absorbed by altcoins. All right, I see that Streamlabs is finally working. Copy trading section, or Streamlabs the bot, not the bot. Sorry, my head's all over the place. I trained for 3.5 hours today, and it's also like 100 degrees outside, so I'm pretty tired. Bitcoin is going to pump so hard for election season. Lightning Network is coming online. Yeah, is it possible an inverted HNS, Bitcoin one day, left shoulder? We'll get to Bitcoin soon. I just wanted to talk Bitcoin dominance just to kind of answer those questions. And I guess to kind of finalize it. So when I say alt summer, and I kind of talked about this a couple minutes ago, I don't think it's every altcoin is going to do well. I think it'll be Ethereum. I think it'll be Link. I think it'll be BNB. And I think it'll be the AI coins. Those are going to be your big gainers. I can't say it or stress it enough. I do not believe that every single altcoin is going to do well. Like Mana, Sand, CRV, they're probably toast for a little while, right? Even like maybe Doge. I don't think Doge is going to do that well if we have alt season. Look at that, dude. Did you guys see that? Oh, let me just see. I'm using a new using a new window system. It's called Opera, because Chrome is horrible. I also installed a new RAM. I have 64 gigs of RAM now, so like my computer's just like so much smoother, so much faster. Like I had outdated RAM, so I needed to update it. Why don't you analyze the coins against Bitcoin to see who's strong? I do, but I'm mostly looking at Ethereum. I'm not really looking at all of these different altcoins because it's a waste of time, in my opinion. We're not starting alt season yet. And really, you could just look at Bitcoin dominance and see and get most of that information anyways. Could you tweet a confirmation when the bot takes a trade so we know when it's working on our end? All good if not. You'll actually get a notification when the bot places a trade on Coincatch. I mean, I can tweet it for sure, but you'll actually be notified on Coincatch. Like, I actually get so they did a couple test trades, and that's why the bot is down like 0.01% right now, just to make sure everything was set up. They're also, if you guys didn't know, it's mostly Castillo and I, but there are a couple other, I guess, partners getting involved. No, nothing concerning, but it's like they needed to test and make sure it worked on their end as well. So with that, and we're also trying to get it into other exchanges. So let's say you use BitUnex or something, for example. I could create a copy trading account on BitUnex. And then, you know, if you already use BitUnex, then you could use that instead of Coincatch, whatever it is. But for now, it's staying on Coincatch. What are your thoughts on trading with 100 times leverage, and what should be RR for loss percentage? I would never exceed 20 times leverage. Move this up so I can see. I would never use more than 20 times leverage, ever. Part of that's because, one, I don't really take trades if there's more than a 5% invalidation difference. So, and also, if you guys didn't know, I switched over to using leverage because I wanted to free up capital to put into whether it be the bot or real estate or just any other investment avenue, because I'm a swing trader and most of my capital just sits and does nothing. So I want my capital working for me. So for example, if I'm trading with $10,000, instead of all that $10,000, I'm using 1,000 with 10 times leverage. And I can refresh the account if I need to, but I'm taking the other $9,000 and using that for other investment avenues. What's the pricing for the bot? The bot's free. You can actually access it on Coincatch. So, and kind of have finished that answer to your question on 100 times leverage. I wouldn't use 100 times leverage because in this market, everything is so volatile. Like, you might have an invalidation point. Like, let's say we have a double bottom, right? And like, maybe it's got like a 1 or 2% wick here. I mean, you want your stop below that wick. If you're using 100 times leverage, you might get stopped out before we pump back upwards. I mean, a good example of that is if you go to Bitcoin. Again, I'm just going to pull up like any kind of little trade. I mean, you could literally look at this, like this double top, this hour 4 double top. I mean, you could put your stop up here or slightly up here, right? We have all of this. You know, you're looking at 1%, 2.5%, 2%. So if you're using 100 times leverage, you'd be liquidated. I mean, you'd ultimately be liquidated at 1%. So you would have gotten liquidated on any of these wicks here. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend using any more than 20x leverage. And honestly, unless you're a seasoned trader, I wouldn't use leverage at all. Leverage doesn't mean anything if you just calculate your position. Yes, if you can calculate your risk, and again, if you're someone like me, and Castillo does this too. This is actually how I got the idea to do this, and I can't believe I didn't think about it. Castillo told me, he's like, yeah, I never really keep more than like 10 to 20,000 on exchanges. And I was like, why? He's like, well, you know, not that I don't trust these exchanges, but you can't put 100% of your trust in them. Like, what if something catastrophic happens like FTX? And again, I'm saying what if, right? It's obviously worst case scenario. But I wouldn't, let's say I'm trading with like $200,000. Like, okay, well, if, let's say, for example, Coincatch, right? Let's say if Coincatch pulls an FTX. I don't think it ever will. Okay, I don't want to scare anyone from using Coincatch. I'm just using this as an example. But let's say I'm using Coincatch and I've got 200 grand in it and it crashes like FTX did and I lose all that money. Like, or I could put 10,000 in and use 20 times leverage, and then my risk is only $10,000. Again, it's different per trading system. It's different per risk parameters. It's different, you know, in how you trade. I think if you use 100 times leverage, you're gambling more than trading. That's just my thought. Leverage is so misused and misunderstood. Yes, I agree, and I am a victim of that. I misunderstood it for years, and I stayed away from it because I thought it was overly risky, and I didn't understand like the advantages to using it, because there are a lot of advantages. Yes, you know, you have to figure out what is the amount that I can trade with that is fine for me to trade with, right? That if you lost it, you know, a portion of it, it wouldn't kill you. Not kill you, but it wouldn't like hurt you or whatever. And then you could reduce that and use leverage and free up capital so you could use it in other investment avenues. What's up, Dorian? 100 times leverage is mostly for people leads to trade with like loads. I've seen it firsthand. It's mostly whales, to be honest. It's mostly for people with loads to trade with, like loads. Oh, you mean like people that just have like infinite money to trade with? Yeah, I mean, it's like gambling. It's like those people are literally gambling on the market. And they're hoping they get lucky with a couple moves here and there. Any tips for loss management and scalp trading? I don't really scalp. But I mean, if you are scalping, like, and this is for trading in general, let's say this is a 4% gain, and let's say this is a 4% difference between this. Let's do this. Say there's a 4% difference between this and this. So if you literally buy right here, you're looking at a 4-to-1 gain to 1 loss. So you win you win 4 times more as you lose. If we break through this range, you know, you lose the 1, right? But if we win, you win 4. That's a decent ratio. If you're scalping and you're getting like let's say there's a 2% difference and you're getting a 2-to-1 if you bought here, that's not a good ratio, right? I at least want a 4 to 5-to-1 upon taking a trade. And usually, and again, I'll be honest, most of my setups have an 8 to 12-to-1, right? Because I'm trading the daily time frame. A lot of these support and resistances are 10% apart. Like you look at the 60 to 64 to 65K area, you know, you're looking at a 6-to-1 there if I take a trade. Or, you know, it depends, because what if this is 6% up, but my invalidation point is 2% down? That's a 3-to-1, right? And I have to take that into consideration when I'm putting in my risk parameters, or I'm taking my, or like whatever, putting in the percent of the trade from my total portfolio. I might use less risk overall because the risk or the reward to risk is not as good as it could be. Right, let's look at some other analysis. I think you guys got a good grip on Bitcoin dominance and my thoughts. Again, pay attention to the 54% level. If we lose it all summer, all day, if we bounce from it, again, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky to say that. I wouldn't say it's going to be tricky. It just means that Bitcoin's going to lead, you know, in the coming months. And this is really just acting as consolidation, again, to sort out these divergences or this, I guess, form of exhaustion on this chart. Okay, I see the, anytime. Let's just start with S&P and kind of move down. So S&P, my only issue with this chart, and again, I don't have a lot of issues with it. Are we looking at bearish divergences here? Right? We haven't started a red candle yet. The weekly is very strong. We're above all-time highs. This could continue higher, right? And then we won't be looking at bearish divergences at all. I mean, overall, I'm macro bullish, but what are the odds that we form a divergence and have to consolidate, right? Consolidate to sort them to create bullish divergences so we can continue higher. To which scenario? I did not. So I'm actually leaning more towards alt summer still, and that has a lot to do with fundamental. I mean, the chart's already showing exhaustion, but fundamentally, like Ethereum, the ETF goes live soon. The ETF was passed. It's now being marked as a commodity, right? The SEC gave up in the court case. It's now a commodity. So in my opinion, Ethereum and some of these alts should start leading. And again, a lot of these altcoins, I keep saying this, man. I keep pointing this out. A lot of these altcoins were creating bullish divergences between their last couple lows, right? I mean, you look at Link, and Link looks like it's making a gigantic weekly double bottom now. I don't know why all of this is in here. I mean, it looks like it's making a giant weekly double bottom. On top of that, everyone just got absolutely, in light of words, everyone just got screwed in their alt positions unless you're in spot. Again, I've been holding my spot. I'm not planning to sell it anytime soon. Very public about what I bought. If you see it on this list here, it's been bought. And even looking at like Tau. Now I will give you this, and honestly, Tau still has bullish divergences. Tau is bouncing, but we have higher lows and we have much lower lows in weekly RSI. Yes, Tau dropped substantially. And I'll be honest with you, I did not think Tau was going to break the $400 level, but it did. Yeah, you're adding here. That's good. You should be. I'm just saying, like, guys, a lot of people have capitulated in the last several weeks. I understand alts went down further than I really thought. You know, I did not. I thought that they would correct 30 to 40%. Right? I'll be open and honest. I thought we were going to get a 30 to 40% correction. 52 was kind of like, I wouldn't say my max for Tau. Again, I'm not planning to sell it anytime soon. But we went down 50%. I'm like, okay, not a bad correction. I actually bought more. I bought another $10,000 of this at $400, like $400 even, right? And then we dropped from my buy. We dropped 40%. So I'm still holding it. Guys, it's a long-term position. We're creating bullish divergences. Everyone just capitulated. We actually just bounced pretty substantially. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that it continues to do well, right? And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But ultimately, a lot of my buys were in the lower hundreds. So, either way, I'm still slightly above in the position. If we do go below like $200, then I think I'm like break even until like 170. I don't know. I need to do the math again, but either way, I think a lot of people have capitulated. No one's in alts, right? Bitcoin's just kind of chilling. I think, again, between Bollinger Bands and everything, and we'll get to this. I know I'm kind of moving around a lot here today. But I still think this kind of squeezes in to create volatility to break out. I think we still have several weeks of consolidation ahead of us. And during this consolidation, this could be a good time for like Ethereum, Link. Again, the AI coins that just dropped 70%. Like you look at Fetch. I mean, Fetch dropped from top to bottom 70%. Right? I mean, this is a good opportunity for some of these coins to start performing again, as they just kind of swept everybody out of the market. Right? All these retail participants that bought alts thinking that, you know, Bitcoin pumped, alts are going to pump now. Unfortunately, alts got absolutely wrecked. A lot of them are at bear market lows. Like you look at Sand, for example, it's retested its bear market low. It's come full circle. Like this is something, and again, I'll say this out loud again. If you are someone who has not bought alts, now is your chance to dollar cost average and take advantage of a lot of these coins that have now revisited bear market lows. Certainly, you know, might get worse. I doubt it. But if it does, you're dollar cost averaging. And even if something like Sand goes down to here or whatever, right, you're buying along the way, right? Then your average is 20 cents, and you're still doing pretty solid, especially if we go up from there. We haven't had alt season yet. Alt season what marks the end of the run anyways. I'm not. Are you afraid that it will go lower? If it goes lower, then it goes lower. I don't care. My spot positions are long-term positions, man. I'm not. I don't have emotions towards them. I don't even know what they're worth right now. I don't think about them all the time. My ledger sits in a safe that's not even at my house. I can access it 24/7. It's not like I can't just show up and get out if I need it. But again, a lot of my spot I bought when Bitcoin was between 15 and 25K. So a lot of my spot positions are up pretty nicely. So like Link, I bought Link in the $5 to $6, $7 range, right? I'm still up 2x, almost 3x on my Link position. I just don't believe that, seeing some red or, even some of these AI coins like Tau, for example, right? Tau's down quite a lot. Didn't expect it. But again, it doesn't really bother me. Like, I can't even sell this for another year, or not a year. I can't sell this until over a year from where I bought. I think I bought in November. So I can't really sell this until next November because personally, I don't want to pay short-term capital gains. I want long-term capital gains on it. But back to SPX. Ultimately, I have no idea if it's going to come down. If we start to put a red candle in, we're starting to look at divs, but for now, it looks pretty strong. Look at the dollar. So the dollar originally, I thought we'd get a double top. Unfortunately, the dollar is pretty unclear. We're not really seeing any reversals on higher or lower time frame. But ultimately, I'd like to see 104 get lost, especially as the stock market's doing very well, as crypto should start doing very well. Ethereum is doing very well right now. It's starting to show some strength here, which is very good. Again, I still am in favor of seeing some kind of alt summer. I still think it's very possible. Let's look at some of the lower time frames on the dollar. So we did get one thing right. We kind of called out these divergences here, right? You're making higher highs, you're making lower highs, ultimately causing a short-term kind of drawdown. Again, it's not a macro reversal sign. It's just a short-term drawdown to create what could be bullish divergences now. But ultimately, guys, I don't really have the best read on the dollar. We've just been ranging for what seems like forever. Hopefully, we break 104 soon. I'd love to see it be a lot of bullish confluence with the rest of the market. Let's look at tether dominance. Again, my biggest key here is the weekly. You look at Bollinger Bands. They're still 28 to 30% apart. Last week, they were 40% apart. We need to create volatility in order to go lower. On top of that, guys, if we close this weekly green, we have now created another bearish divergence, right? You have higher highs in RSI and lower highs in price or value, right? Everything is lining up for a continuation of the bull market. This is just acting as consolidation, in the form of a bear flag. Excuse me, this is a horrible flag, right? You're looking at a bear flag consolidation to continue lower. I mean, there's really nothing on this chart that shows exhaustion at all. And let's get to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, the couple big things here, guys, and what I mean with exhaustion. So in 2020 and 2021, right? I'm talking about the original high. I'm not talking about this high. This original high, we had an ascending wedge on the weekly and the daily chart, as well as a head and shoulders here. On top of that, we have bearish divergences forming from the 40K top all the way to 60K, right? You have volume also pushing down. These are all indications of exhaustion, trend exhaustion, right? Bullish trend exhaustion. If you fast forward to 2024, we don't have any of those. And we're actually creating, I don't know why that was doing that. We actually need to remove some of this stuff. We're actually creating bullish divergences, right? We actually have 3 bullish divergences now as we're creating higher lows, right? Higher lows in price, lower lows in RSI. We have not seen a single bearish divergence on this weekly chart yet, right? We're still creating higher highs as we create higher highs. Now, I will say, if we get, a move to 100K or whatever it is, we will start creating bearish divergences, and we will start looking to sell some of those spot positions, especially like Bitcoin, for example. That doesn't mean that alts are out of the game yet, but it just means that, you know, we're likely going to start alt season soon. Bitcoin's going to be outperformed by alts, probably start dollar cost averaging out of those spot positions. Let's keep chugging along. So, I'm going to keep removing all of this stuff as we go. All right. Let's look at the daily here. So, the daily, we're kind of holding support a bit. I'll be honest, on the daily, I don't really see anything that screams reversal to me, yet at least. Volume's a little iffy for me. I actually want to see if it's been average or slightly above average here. So it's been slightly above average, right? We could definitely revisit 60K, and if we did, it wouldn't really bother me. Again, guys, weekly Bollinger Bands are still very spread apart. We need to create volatility for higher. Even if we range, right, and did this for a couple months, that's not a huge issue. And on top of that, let's go to the 4-hour. So I was telling the patrons and stuff, and I think I also posted this on Twitter. I'm eyeing this kind of descending wedge. I guess there's a little bit of confluence with making lower lows in price. We're actually creating higher lows in RSI. It's not that clean of a setup yet. I'd like to see, you know, a nice little double bottom, whether it be on the 4-hour or the 1-hour. Like, let's say the 1-hour bounces around, right? Creates a clean double bottom. Then we'll look to take those longs. But for now, I'm not just going to blindly long this, because we could go lower, right, and then reverse from there. Or who's to even say it's a descending wedge, right? So I'd like to see a little bit of clarity before I take longs, but ultimately I'm looking for longs. I really don't see the advantage of taking shorts in a macro bullish consolidation range. I talk about copy trading today. Roman trading and Coincatch seems to have followers, but I did not see any activity. Am I looking at the wrong one? So it's actually spelled like this. It's all one word, like this. I can actually check for you how many followers are there. Let's see real quick. So there's 29 followers. I think there's $54,000 or 53,000 assets under management. It's all one word, and it's got my logo. I wanted to check and see if someone is someone trying to copy my. No, okay, so it's all one word. I don't see any deceptive, any other deceptive copy trader. So that's how you spell it, or I guess word it. No, it hasn't taken any trades yet. So the bot will take trades when it has system triggers, and unfortunately, it just hasn't had any yet. I posted full details of the bot in Discord. So if you need help setting it up, if you have questions, I would refer to that first before DMing me. You guys can always DM me, like, any questions you have. My DMs are open. More than happy to answer them for you. But I would always direct you first, like, go to Discord. It's, again, my Discord's free. Go to Discord, look at the trading bot information, and look at the trading bot questions. I'm putting, like, frequently asked questions in there, or just, like, basic stuff. And don't be afraid to ask questions. You can actually ask questions in the Discord too, right? Like, I think I actually created a question box specifically for the bot that's like, hey, if you have a question, like, ask it, right? We're still kind of trying to figure this out ourselves as well in terms of, like, setup and clarity on your guys' end. Now, the bot works, right? The bot works for us. We've been using it. It works. But what we're trying to do is make it easier for you guys to set up. And, you know, if you have any questions or you need clarity, that'll help us in the future. So feel free to ask any questions you have. Did you ever have a huge loss? And if yes, how did I overcome it? When I first started trading, I lost 30% of my portfolio. And I mean, that just kind of comes with being a new trader. I guess my worst loss I ever took, and it actually wasn't a huge loss. Let me pull up the chart. This was my worst loss ever. Or I guess like worst trading experience ever. Back on XLM in, where's 2020? On XLM in 2020. I want to say it was here. No, it wasn't here. Let me find the chart. Either way. Maybe no, because this was April. I'm trying to remember where this was. Either way, okay. Moving on. So I was in XLM, and on one of these pumps, I can't remember which one it was. On one of these pumps, I was up a significant amount of money. I'm trying to find the one that it was. Like I want to say it was like this one, maybe not. I'm not sure. Either way, I was in XLM, and at the time, I was up a pretty substantial amount of money. For me, I like doubled my portfolio, essentially. Almost doubled it. And I was looking at lower time frames, and I was like overly excited, and I'm like, nothing's going to stop me. And, I had the best feeling in the world feeling that you get when you're like win a trade or you're up a ton of money. But I had this like feeling in my gut to sell, right? I'm like, no, I shouldn't sell. Like, it's going to keep going. And lo and behold, the next day I woke up, and I was, went from being up like, 100% to down like 5%. And I know that's not a huge loss, but to me, I was devastated. I was like, holy shit, I just gave up all of that money. I literally doubled my portfolio, right? Literally doubled it. Why didn't I sell? Like, why was I being greedy? And it made me want to quit trading for I didn't look at a chart for like a week. And, yeah, it was a worst feeling in the world, and I hated it. But then I, overcame it, and I actually had someone tell me like, hey, if you ever feel that feeling again, like you're on top of the world, like, you're winning this crazy trade and all that, sell it, right? Don't be greedy, sell it. So when you guys, a lot of you are in spot positions, right? My spot positions are up 300%. And again, it's a long-term investment. But anyways, when Bitcoin goes to 120 to 150K, like I think that'd be pretty reasonable. And you're sitting there looking at your portfolio, and you're saying, "Oh my God, I'm so rich! Like this is the best feeling in the world. I'm gonna go buy Wagyu steak and find hot girls, and this is amazing, and I'm the best trader ever." And you get this huge ego, and you're telling everybody, you're calling your grandma and telling her how much money you made. Well, just remember this, like, you haven't made shit until you take profits. And when you feel that way, have an exit plan. Like, seriously, like either say, okay, if we drop below like 130, I'm just cutting it all, right? Or, all right, at this point, I'm going to start dollar cost averaging out of the market. Because I'll tell you what, May 2020 or May 2021, a lot of people gave up a lot of gains. I mean, we had a 50% crash like that. That was a quick crash. A really correction, in my opinion. But either way, you look at November, in 2 weeks, you dropped 30%. Do you really want that to happen to you? Do you want to be up 100 grand and you get this great feeling and you're ignoring signals on the chart and you're saying and calling everybody and telling them you're fucking Superman, and then that happens right there, that 30% candle comes in and you look like an idiot because you didn't sell, right? That happened to me. Don't let it happen to you. Like, have an exit strategy at some point. Like, I'm telling you, when we go to 120K or 100 or 110, let's say 110. We go to 110. This weekly chart's going to put in a bearish divergence. I'm telling you right now. Right? This weekly chart is going to do this. You need to start forming an exit strategy, especially those of you that bought spot between 15, 25, or up to 30K, up to 40K even. You need to have a fucking exit strategy. And I'm trying to be serious with you so you guys take it seriously. Like, I know it's all like kind of fun and games, like, oh yeah, I'll do that. But like, I'm serious. When you watch your portfolio go from what it is now to double or triple or, you know, quadruple, right? Let's say your portfolio quadruples from where it is now or 10X's. Don't be that guy that calls his grandma one day and tells her how rich he is, and then the next day you call her and you're begging for money because you'll look like the biggest clown on planet Earth. This video should be on replay when Bitcoin hits that level. Yeah, if you clip it and send it to me, I'll play it. I'm getting PTSD listening to this. It's like therapy. Oh, yeah. Trying to understand leverage a bit. Are there limits or stop losses that are set by the exchange you use for it? Can I just open a 20x forever long on Bitcoin and then sell it in late 2025? No stop loss. So no, leverage works like this. Let's say you have 20 times leverage, right? Let's say I have $100. I'm going to say $100, 20 times leverage, right? 20 times leverage, $100. That's $2,000, right? So it equates $2,000. If Bitcoin drops 5%, so let's say it goes down, let's say before it goes down 5%, let's say it goes down 1%, right? How much do you lose? You lose $20. You lose 20%, right? It's 1% times 20. Bitcoin drops 5%, you've lost all $100 and you're what's called liquidated, right? You're completely out. You're zero. So you can't just open a forever long and hope one day it goes up. You like, if Bitcoin doesn't drop 5% and just continues going up, then yeah, you won't be liquidated. But again, I wouldn't use leverage unless you're a seasoned trader that knows what the hell he's doing. And again, I'm going to be very serious. I know we were talking about leverage today. I know that I use leverage and I'm being open and honest, but just because I'm using it doesn't mean you should. I have almost a decade of trading experience. I have a trading system. I have risk parameters that I follow super in depth, right? Like I'm what I would consider a well-seasoned trader. And until you hit that level, until you know what the fuck you're doing, do not use leverage, like at all. Don't be greedy because you'll lose it all. You'll lose everything you put in the market. Well said, I will sell at 100K and wouldn't mind if Bitcoin went to 120. Yeah, I mean, you're like one of the few people that's like, if it keeps going up, it keeps going up, right? Why did that do that, dude? That's great. You guys just saw my Amazon. Why is it doing that? Okay, awesome. Dude, okay, so I have a new web browser and that was funny. Hopefully, dude, why isn't this working? Hold on. All right. I have no idea what is happening right now. Just give it a second, see if it works. There it is. Okay, it's back. Leverage is definitely very tempting, but I know I'm going to lose my ass. Yeah, again, like I would, and I'm not like trying to make fun of you at all. Just get a couple years under your belt, and then you can open up as much leverage as you want. As long as you have a plan for risk. Can you check the ICP weekly chart? Yeah, I'll look at ICP for you. After we look at Ethereum first, I'll look at ICP next. So Ethereum's one day. I mean, other than these giant wicks, this does look like a double bottom. I don't like the wicks though. I don't like these giant wicks, but Ethereum looks pretty solid. I'd like Ethereum's 4 hour to look a little cleaner. I mean, really, other than fundamental reasons, I don't really see a reason to take a swing long on Ethereum. unless you want to buy spot now. But I will say this, on the weekly, you have bullish divergences all over the place. Right? You've got higher lows, lower lows. Looks pretty good. I think it's because my mouse is dying. I don't know. Like, the buttons on my mouse like interact with this web browser, and I gotta turn that off. Yeah, let's look at ICP real quick. I don't really do a lot of altcoin requests, at least until alt season, but I'll look at, since you asked it nicely, I'll do it. So ICP, I mean, it just looks like it's kind of coming full circle like everything else. Looks like it's retesting. I mean, it's kind of a large area. Do we consider it here, or do we consider it here? I mean, it looks like it's just kind of retesting support. With, again, RSI that's now at 40. The last time RSI was at 40, we were sitting at $3.02. I don't know. I'm still under the mindset that alts will eventually do well. It's just, again, it's not alt season, guys, unless it's, and I know there's going to be someone else that asks, like, can you go over X altcoin and this altcoin and that altcoin? It's like, it's not that I don't want to. It's just there's no reason to until it's alt season. And I hate to say it that way, but that's just the way it goes. Didn't sell during the last altcoin rally after 16x my portfolio. Probably like 70% down now. What the hell did you buy? You buy a bunch of meme coins? Yeah, if you guys are trading like meme coins, like, get out of them as soon as possible. How much profit do you think can be spent on alts if we buy them in these areas? I think that's entirely up to you and how much you can risk. Guys, you need to determine how much. Okay, so think of altcoins as like, think of altcoins as this. If I were to put money in alts, do you need that money? Like, how much can you afford to lose is the term that people use, right? Think of all of the money or any of the money you put in altcoins. I wouldn't consider Ethereum quite an altcoin anymore. Let's say you want to put money in Fetch, AI coin. Every dollar you put in, think that you could lose it. And if you were to lose that money, would it affect your life? Like, don't trade or invest with money that you need. Don't do any of that. Started leverage 6 months and lost $1,000 in before I recovered 25% following you in Castillo's. I learned to be patient, and as you said, we should know why we're opening that position. Yeah, of course. What about a modest 2x leverage? You only get called if stock drops 50%, right? I've never leveraged before. Again, I would not use leverage unless you guys have a good trading plan. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are your own people. You can decide what you want to do on your own, but I would not use leverage unless you have at least 3 to 5 years of trading experience. And within that 3 to 5 years, you have at least 2 to 3 profitable years. I know the first couple years you trade are generally not very profitable. You might lose your first year, break even second year. You might even lose your third year. It took Peter Brandt. Peter Brandt's one of the best traders in the world. It took him 5 years to be profitable. So if you're one of those people that's been doing this a while and you're like, oh, I can't seem to get it. It's taken some of the best traders ever 4 to 5 years to get good at trading, or at least profitable. I hate meme coins. I haven't bought a single one in 2 years. Yeah, I would stay away from them. They're pretty tough. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end it there. I hopefully answered a lot of your guys' question on alts that you guys have been asking on Twitter. If you guys have any questions on the trading bot, feel free to ask in my Discord. There's a whole section dedicated to the trading bot. You can ask any questions. You can get information on it. On top of that, I know I should have said this earlier, but Coincatch is offering 40% off fees for the next 30 days, and then you get 15% off fees for life. I don't know. If you're making a lot of trades, consider moving over to Coincatch for the next 30 days. You'll save a shit ton of money on fees. And it also applies to the trading bot, which is through Coincatch. But again, guys, with all that said, one last thing. So I asked earlier on Twitter, what time should I live stream? Please go vote on that. I'm going to retweet it or quote it or whatever so people see it. Please follow up on that, please vote on that, because it's going to determine when I live stream in the future. Because I've noticed since I've been kind of changing times between like 2 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern, a lot of the viewership has dropped off. And again, I know the market's kind of dead too, so that's probably why. But I'd like to stream when most of you are ready to watch. That's all. With all that, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And remember, be patient, users management.